welcome to my channel. My name is Molly and here we do sewing, crafts, and fun. Today we're doing crafts. We never do crafts. I want to do some spooky crafts. I'm thinking 3 things. We're gonna try a garland, a cute little garland we can hang up, some pumpkins that you can put around your house and make it cute and fall and festive, and then also I think something wearable that I haven't figured out yet, but we will get there. Let's start with a ghosty garland.
Getting started, baby. This video is gonna be a whole lot of voiceover. So to make ghost, I first traced and cut out circles that were all roughly the same size from my fabric. I think this would have been better if I had chosen like a cotton drapier fabric, but all I had in white was this sheet, and that's what we ended up going with. Then I got some black acrylic paint and mixed it with water so that I could do some little shadowy areas on the bottom of the ghost. The first one came out way too dark, but that's okay. We just kept going. All the other ones turned out at the correct level of splotchiness that I wanted. Once they were all painted, I took these styrofoam balls. These I just got off Amazon. They were super cheap, and hot glued the tops of them so that the fabric could stick to the top and look like the head of the ghost, and just kept on adding glue until it got a nice drape and looked the way I wanted it to.
Hi, it's been a minute. We still have a bunch of ghosties we need to make into actual ghosties. So I'm going to get that process started. I really want to get these little faces painted on them today so that they look a little bit more cute and spooky. But first things first, I think we're going to have to string them up so that we have a clear spot for where the face is on the ghost. So that is our next step.
Here I'm going to show you how I put the ghosts on the little strings. What I did was cut some yarn, get a big needle, lace it through the head, pull the yarn through, and then tie it at a knot on the bottom, and then clip those long edges. It was really hard to get this needle through because I needed a big needle and you had to go through styrofoam and hot glue and fabric. There's a point here, I think you can see, where I even need like a pair of pliers to pull it through. But it worked out in the end. And then once I was able to pull the tails back in, I just had this tiny little loop at the head of the ghost, and that worked out great. Oh baby, it is time for makeup. To draw the faces on these little ghosties, I just use a regular ballpoint pen. You could probably use a better implement to draw sort of little rounded teardrop shaped eyes and the ittiest bittiest little smile, and then finish the whole face off with some of my own blush. Paint would have been better. Paint will stay on your ghosts and crafts better than actual makeup, but I just love the way this looks. It just gives it the cutest little rosiest toesiest cheekies, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Yep, that's it. That's their cute little faces. Aren't they adorable?
Now that these ghost boys are done, I'm going to make the yarn that they will hang on. And to do that, I'm just going to crochet a nice long chain. Crochet has been something I am getting into lately, and I have been wanting to learn how to crochet for a really long time, but I put it off forever because I'd say I'm at a intermediate point of knitting, like a advanced intermediate point of knitting where I know what I'm doing most of the time. And I didn't want to start over with a brand new craft because I knew it would take me forever to get the hang of it. I can now make some pretty snazzy looking granny squares. Pick up my granny squares and be like, oh, you can get it. You know what's up, my dear. as for doing anything with those granny squares, we're not quite there yet. So I thought this would be a good practice instead of just like braiding yarn to do some crochet chaining. To do some chaining. I'm sure if you do crochet, you can see me trying my best. Yeah, I started filming this video, I think 2 weeks ago, but just stuff got busy with work, which is still going super well. I really like my new job still. I'm surprised to say this, but I could totally see myself being there for the rest of my career, which I'm really happy about because I don't like job searching. I don't think anybody really does. Loodle. I'm trying to think of any other life updates. My birthday is coming up soon. I am going to be 30. And I'm actually really excited about turning 30 because I don't know, I feel like this, like a new decade is kind of a big hopeful moment, at least in my book. And I'm also kind of one of the last of my friends to turn 30. I mean, besides my sister, all of our friends are older than us by like a year most of the time. But I don't know, I just feel like each day I have new experiences, I become more myself, and I'm a happier person than I was when I was younger. And I think a lot of that is because I have, come on, so much more control over my life and what I get to do with it. You know, when you're young, you're stuck in those confines of like, okay, you have to go to school with these certain people and you have to focus on certain things. But the lovely thing about being an adult is once you're done with your job for the day, you can spend your time any way you want to, and that's lovely. And I feel like I just think my 30s are gonna be basically like my 20s, but just more money and more free time and even more fun. And I'm really looking forward to that. If anybody has suggestions on how I should be holding my crochet as I chain, let me know, because I'm still figuring it out. Okay, well, I'm gonna do this until I've got a long enough string to like string these puppies up, and then I'll come back and give you a little update. Our ghosty boys turned out so cute and I'm really happy with them. I think maybe next time I'll make their faces a little bit lower just so that you can see them a little easier. But just looking at them here, I'm well pleased. I think they came out great. Yeah. So next, if you've watched the channel for a while, you might know that earrings are kind of my thing, and I want to make some candy corn earrings. I almost said candy cane. We're not there yet. Candy corn earrings. So I'm gonna go get some felt and some other supplies, and I'll meet you back here to get that started.
I lied. I got a migraine. We will work on this later.
I took a rest, I'm feeling a bit better, and now I realize I don't have all the supplies I need, so we have to go to the craft store. Oh no. I'm back from the craft store. Let me show you what we have for supplies. Okay, so I have 3 different colors of felt. We're going to use the felt to make the little earrings. And then this is what I needed to get. Earring, jump rings, fish hook, ear wires. I guess that's what they're called with the parts that go into your ear. To start is make a stencil of the little candy cane shape I want, the little triangle, and cut that out for all the pieces, and then we'll check back in.
All right, I started this bit by just tracing out a little rounded triangle on a piece of card and cut that out to use as my stencil. I figured it would be best to have 2 layers of the white felt because then it would be more opaque and I would have like a nice base for the back of the earring if it flipped around. Then I went and cut out smaller shapes for the yellow stripe and the orange stripe. And I don't know what happened to my hands here, but they forgot how to hand. I had such trouble cutting this stuff out. But here are all my little pieces. And then I started gluing everything together. This was really simple and really easy, just putting a light layer of glue onto all of the pieces and building up that candy cane design. Candy corn. I say this wrong at least 2 times in the video. Forgive me. Candy corn. But look at it. There it is, our little candy corn buddy. And then because it wasn't completely even, I did trim down the edges just a little bit.
Oh my gosh, are these absolutely adorable? They're so good. They're so good. I love them. Gotta make them into earrings now. No, they're not completely even. But I still just want to eat them up, and I'm fine with that. Earring time.
And we're pulling out the big boy, and by that I mean the big needle again. Using that giant needle, I just punched a hole in the top of the candy corn so that I could lace the jump ring through. Then I squeezed the jump ring closed, had to open it up again, put the little fish hook earring holder part that goes through your ear on there, and then squeezed it to close it a second time. And there you have an earring!
I'm inside my house. For our final craft, we're going to knit a little pumpkin, and I think it'll be super cute. This is a craft that I've done a bunch of times before, but not for a while. We're going to use the mini pumpkin knitting pattern by Kristen Russo. It's pretty straightforward. It's just increasing and decreasing stitches so that you get that round little pumpkin shape.
Since this is not my pattern, I don't really want to go over like all the stitches and how to put it together because you can download the pattern for that. I'll leave a link in the description, but I will talk for a minute about using double pointed needles. I think a lot of people get very discouraged by them because they're like, it's 5 needles or 4 needles. How do I keep track of that? Besides when you drop them like I just did, the only thing you really have to worry about is the 2 needles that you're actively working on. Those are the ones that you're stitching off of. Everything else is just sitting there waiting for you to get to it. So if you have something that you want to try with double pointed needles, I highly recommend it. I think it's a great way to get those rounded shapes. Or you could always just use a tiny little connected needle. I make socks that way and find it a lot easier. But basically, here I am just following the pattern, knitting in the round, building up my little pumpkin, and having a grand old time, baby. And then we're going to get on to some of the finishing. So once the pumpkin's done, I cast it off and then started filling it with these scraps. I could have used polyfill, but I'm a hoarder and wanted to get rid of all this extra little fiber fluff that I've been saving for some reason. I don't know why. Then once it was filled, I tightened the edges and we laced the top thread after tying it off into the pumpkin. Then we had to knit the little stem, the stem. And this was very easy, just casting on 4 stitches and flipping the needle back and forth until we had kind of a little, I don't know, 1.5 inch long green tube. Then I sewed that tube onto the top of the pumpkin to act as the stem. And we were done!
All right, we're gonna do a real quick wrap up. I'm really happy with how everything turned out for these projects, and I would absolutely love to see if you make some of them yourself. Please let me know. All right, that's all I got for this video, and hopefully I'll have at least 2 more for you this month. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe. Stay spooky and do your best. All right, bye.